Hello and welcome to the future of Microsoft 365 protection, Veeam and Microsoft 365 backup storage. Today's webinar is sponsored by Veeam and Microsoft and produced by Actual Tech Media. My name is Scott Becker. I'm from Actual Tech, and I'm excited to be your moderator for this special event. Now, before we get to today's great content, we do have a few housekeeping items that are going to help you get the most out of this session. Let's talk questions. We want this to be an informative event for you, so we encourage any questions in the questions box in your webinar control panel. This will be a relatively short event, and we won't be able to do a dedicated Q&A session at the end of this one, but we will pass along any questions that you have to the teams from Veeam and Microsoft for follow-up. That Q&A panel is also the place to let us know about any technical issues that you might be experiencing. A browser refresh will fix most audio, video, or slide advancement issues, but if that doesn't work, just let us know in the Q&A and we'll provide further technical assistance. Okay, next, handouts. So in the handout section of your webinar control panel, you'll find that we're offering several resources. I'd especially like to call your attention to a PDF product overview, as well as links to a piece on Veeam Data Cloud with Microsoft 365 backup storage, and a blog post about the launch of Veeam with M365. So I encourage you to access those resources now and share them with your friends and colleagues. Now, I'm sure you noticed the prize icon there. At the end of this webinar event, we'll be awarding a $250 Amazon gift card to one lucky registrant. Of course, you must be in attendance during the live event to qualify for the prize. Official terms and conditions of today's prize drawing can be found in the handout section. Just scroll to the bottom and you'll find the prize terms and conditions link there. All right, with all that housekeeping out of the way, let's get to today's fantastic session. So it is my pleasure to introduce you to our presenters today. We have Corinne Bissett, who's Global Technologist for Product Strategy at Veeam, and we have Brad Gussin, who's Principal Product Marketing Manager at Microsoft. So now I'm going to turn things over to Corinne to get us started.
Welcome to today's webinar. Today we'll be covering the future of Microsoft 365 protection with Veeam and Microsoft 365 backup storage. My name is Corinne Bissett, and I'm a technologist here at Veeam Software. I specialize in the Microsoft 365 suite, and I'm joined today by Brad Gussin.
Hi all, my name is Brad. I'm the Principal PM Manager leading up the Microsoft 365 backup storage platform, and have been working with Veeam for quite a while on this, so excited to talk to you about it today.
As am I. To kick it off, I'd like to start off with fun facts. We have over 20 million protected Microsoft 365 solution, which outranks all other backup software. We're also rated #1 by IDC and a 7-time in a row Gartner Magic Quadrant leader. Now to kick off, we're going to start with backup software versus backup as a service and some of those differences. Veeam backup software for Microsoft 365 allows us to have an on-premises version of protection for Microsoft 365 backup users. And with the integration of our backup as a service, we are expanding this technology to the backup storage API from Microsoft. Brad, do you want to give us some insights on that side?
That's a great story you have there, Corinne. And I'll just add that moving to a software as a service solution here where Veeam is doing much of the heavy lifting for you to provide you a robust solution that you don't need to manage is a really great option, because that allows you to focus on your core business priorities rather than operating the backup software itself.
Absolutely. And with software as a service, times are really changing and we're having adoption at ever-growing fast rates. Ransomware and malware are top concerns in the environment, as well as discovering the utmost important data and making sure that's able to recover in a meaningful amount of time. We have our ransomware trends reports, as well as our cloud trends reports and IDC numbers here to help reflect some of the dangers that can come with not making these a top concern in your environment. How are you seeing these stats translate to your unique perspective, Brad?
It's a great question. I think these challenges are coming up for a reason, and I can frame it with a little bit of data here. So just today alone, we're seeing more than 2.5 billion new files being created in Microsoft 365 every single day. And we're also seeing a lot of tenants growing by more than a petabyte a month. And so these high growth tenants and high growth data situations are creating a lot of challenges where traditional backup and restore solutions are sort of unable to meet the needs of business continuity recovery for customers when they're hit by things like ransomware attacks. And that's one of the reasons that we're introducing the new Microsoft 365 backup storage platform in conjunction with Veeam.
But even better today, let's talk about why Microsoft and Veeam. Veeam recognizes a lot of the challenges around the growth of data, the malware, and the recovery inside of Microsoft 365. Microsoft is entering the backup space and choosing a partner and to partner with vendors like Veeam to leverage new capabilities that will provide customers with more options on how they can protect their data. On top of all this, we have some AI integrations that we're hoping to help tip the scales with. Veeam comes up in a lot of conversations. Brad, do you want to give us some of those insights?
Yeah, I think you're really hitting the nail on the head there. We hear from customers a demand to solve these kinds of problems in a more scalable way, and Veeam is often top of mind for customers. They often come to us in conversations when they're asking us, hey, what kind of solutions do I need to be able to recover at scale quickly, securely, privately? And it's one of the reasons, we have a long history with Veeam, one of the reasons that we came and approached you and have started working on this technological integration with you for almost a year now, in fact.
Absolutely. It's been an exciting time from that announcement date to now when we're just around the corner to being able to provide you guys with this solution. And let's go ahead and start talking about the solution itself. We have the Veeam Data Cloud technology that's going to integrate with the Microsoft 365 backup storage. This backup storage is going to offer you the flexibility and choice of solution to then fix your problem, whether it's a rapid recovery situation, or if you're looking for a simple platform that's all-inclusive of all of these recovery types from your fingertips. So Brad, let's talk about the development behind this platform.
Yeah, great. I think it's awesome how you guys are integrating here. Let's dive into the details a little bit and talk about how the platform is able to actually provide really fast, secure, and private recovery capabilities. So this architectural diagram sort of highlights how the platform works. One key thing to notice here is that everything is within the M365 trust boundary, and we've built this from the ground up to handle the kind of scale and speed needs that customers are demanding from their SaaS offerings today. And so first, important to note that we have already natively handling the best kind of high availability and disaster recovery possible in the Microsoft 365 service by keeping multiple physical copies of your data in geographically disparate locations. That means we have copies of your data in data centers that are physically separate so that any kind of physical disaster in one does not impact the operation in another. And likewise, we are building our backup solution to have the same kind of architecture where we have immutable copies of prior points in time of your healthy data to be able to recover, and again, geographically redundantly stored so that you have great high availability and disaster recovery natively built into the system. Now, the data stays in the workload's environment so that you get the quickest possible recovery, and everything stays tightly controlled and secure and private. And just to put a little bit of perspective here, we're showing speeds of, for maybe 1,000 sites in an average 30 gig site, recovery speeds of roughly 3 terabytes an hour, which is 20 to 30 times faster than otherwise possible with traditional solutions. And so that's giving you just orders of magnitude better recovery posture so that you can get your business back up and running in the case of a ransomware attack in a matter of hours instead of, in a lot of cases, weeks or even months. It's a huge differentiator here in terms of maintaining business resiliency for your operations.
So I hear a lot of words here. Fast is definitely one of them, and we're really excited to see that because the speed really does matter. Security definitely matters. Having that data within the same data domain instead of having it exfiltrate data from that environment is very important for a lot of compliance situations, as well as having that data private. And there is some encryption offered on that data behind the scenes, if I'm not mistaken, correct, Brad?
Yeah, so the data is all handled in the native formats under the hood. It works seamlessly with bring your own key if you're using that as well to control the encryption on your side. The data is immutable, and because it never leaves the trust boundary, which comes with certain geodata residency requirements, we guarantee that your data will live in the region of the world where you have defined or dictated that it must live. All stays secure, compliant, and private as you've defined and you've come to expect for Microsoft 365 data adherence.
Absolutely. And this really paints us our full picture here. We have our entire Microsoft 365 essential business application suite being able to be protected in a way that is secure, compliant. You can do your bulk restores in case of large disaster situations, as well as have the granularity and flexibility to granularly select items in those critical need situations. So this gives you a lot of functionality within just this environment, plus the advanced functionality, which we do have coming very soon and have some very exciting news throughout this presentation. With the extended recovery options, you're going to be able to select the control that makes sense for your business. And before we go too much further, let's go ahead and dive into what this looks like from a lab perspective. Here is the Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365 console. As you can see, we have a frontline look at all of the statistics behind the scenes. Let's go ahead and create a backup policy. Now with the backup policies, we have the options to create the traditional backup policy, but we're going to be diving in today is the Microsoft Backup Storage policies. Let's edit one of the OneDrive policies here and see the users we can add, as well as the groups. If you need to remove any users, you can remove them from the same section. If you need to add an additional policy, you can use Add, select the FAST policy, which will be the Microsoft Backup Storage, and then the storage location type. Once you've named your job, that's all you need to start the backup process. Once you have your backups going, which can be done in as little as an hour for your entire organization's worth of backups, you're going to be offered the option to restore the entire mailbox using this fast restore option. This fast restore option will overwrite the existing mailbox and allow you to get your data back up and running in the fastest possible. Let's take a look at one of the restores here. From the restore page, you can see we've already processed one of the fast restores and it was successfully complete, and this was within a matter of minutes. In addition to all of these great backup features, we have the additional capability to add granular access control. This granular access control will not only allow you to restore the generalized permissions for the traditional backups types, but allow you to also have granular role assignments around the backup storage for Microsoft 365 backups. If you do run into a multi-tenant situation, you can also allow multiple tenant access from a single user account in order for easy and simplistic backup console access.
Wow, that was a really impressive demo. Really excited to see what you guys have available for customers today and what's coming in the future as well.
So am I. Now, if you want to check this out yourself, we have the Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365 click-through demo. This demo allows you yourself to jump into what the environment looks and feels like with helpful little hints and tricks along the side so that you can see if this is going to make sense for your environment and what you'll need to do in order to do a backup, restore, and search process inside of the domain. There are tons of key benefits to using backup as a service for Microsoft 365. You get this all-inclusive service that allows you not just the traditional backup processes and the availability of that, but in addition, the backup storage API, which will allow you the quickest bulk restores on the market. So whether you're looking for something that's just quick and easy to start up with, have unlimited storage, and keep everything within the same trusted data domain, you're able to do that with the Microsoft 365 storage, backup storage with Veeam Data Cloud. Brad, do you have any closing thoughts for us?
Overall, I think this is a really great opportunity for customers to take advantage of everything that Veeam has to offer. A lot of really cool integrations, a lot of interesting intelligence built into your software, great end user and admin control that you have. And I know I've heard like lots of really cool features coming in the future too that we can't quite yet talk about, but I know are going to be pretty neat. So I encourage everyone, go take a look at Veeam's integration with Microsoft 365 Backup Storage, understand how it can really improve the operational posture of your business to maintain great business continuity and resiliency overall. And so I thank everyone for taking the time to listen to this. Really enjoyed chatting with you too, Corinne, today.
It has been an absolute pleasure. We have so many integrations coming in the future, including, but not limited to, Entra ID backup, integrations with Copilot in the Veeam Data Cloud, and so much more that I can't really say much about right now. But if you're interested in staying in the loop on what's coming in the future, check out and scan this QR code to make sure you're on top of everything coming through. And I really appreciate all of you joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and thanks to you, Corinne and Brad, for putting together a really informative presentation there. Really appreciate your time today. And for those of you who ask questions, we will make sure that the Veeam and Microsoft teams get those questions so they can follow up with you. And also a quick reminder, this is your last chance to grab those handouts before we close the event here in just a moment. So before we do wrap up, we have one more piece of business, and that is the Amazon gift card prize drawing. And the winner of the $250 Amazon gift card is Terry Marr from Kansas. So congratulations to Terry Marr. We'll be in touch to get you your card. And with that, on behalf of the Actual Tech Media team, I want to thank Veeam for making this event possible. And thanks, as always, for attending. That's going to conclude today's event. Have a fantastic rest of your day.